Okay, yesterday we started talking about the area of triangles, and today we're going to talk about the area of trapezoids. Do you guys remember what the formula was for the area of triangles?
A equals 1/2 times base times height.
Okay, A equals half times base times height. Basically, if you understand the formulas, you're going to do great, okay? So today I'm going to introduce to you a new formula for the area of a trapezoid. Go ahead and write this slide down for me. You want to be able to understand what the base is and what the height is, okay? So the base is the set of parallel lines. Do you guys understand what parallel is?
The same.
Okay, the same. So listen, if it's going this way and then this is going that way, are those parallel lines?
No.
No, because they intersected each other. If they cross over each other, it's not parallel, okay? Instead, would this be a parallel line? Yes, because they're both going the same distance. So the way to tell if something's a trapezoid is if it has a set of parallel lines, okay? Then the height, just like what we've talked about before, it forms a right angle with the base. Could this side be my base?
No.
No, why not?
Because it's
Okay, the side opposite this one right here, there's no way those could be parallel, because if this kept going like this, they would eventually do what? They're eventually going to intersect or turn into a triangle, if you will. So there's no way that those could be my bases, okay? So basically when you're looking for the base, you're just looking for something that's a set of parallel lines. The formula, it's going to be 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2. Now, I have labeled this one as base 1 and this one as base 2. It actually doesn't matter which one you decide is which, because if you think about it, let's say that this was 4 and this was 5. What's 4 plus 5? 9. Let's say I switched it and I said 5 plus 4. What's 5 plus 4? 9. So when you're adding something together, the order doesn't matter. So either one can be base 1 or base 2. And then you're going to multiply it by the height. So let's go ahead and do just a couple examples together. Find the area of the trapezoid. All right, on your quiz that's coming up on Monday, you're going to need to know a lot of different formulas. So each time that we do something like this, we're always going to start off with a formula just to kind of drill it in our minds so that we know what to plug in. What is the area of a trapezoid formula?
A equals 1/2 times B1 plus B1 times H.
Okay, base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Okay, so once again, just like we talked about yesterday, please keep your equal signs lined up. Just bring it straight down. Do we know what the area is yet? No. So we're just going to keep that as plain old A. Now we're going to write our half. Base 1. What's base 1?
7.
All right, we'll say it's 7. We could do the one on top. Once again, the order doesn't matter. 7 plus what?
14.
14. How do I figure out what my bases are?
Because they don't intersect.
They're the ones that don't intersect. What are those lines called if they don't intersect? Parallel lines, okay? So base 1, base 2 is always going to be your parallel lines. Multiply it times the height. Remember, the height is going to form a right angle, and it's going to form a right angle with the base. So what's my height? 10. Okay? Now, do you guys remember PEMDAS?
Yes.
All right, we did that at the beginning of the year. What does the P stand for? Parentheses. The E? Exponents. Next. Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So let's start with the first one, parentheses. Do I have any work to do inside of parentheses? Yes. I do. What is it?
It's 7 plus 14.
Adding 7 plus 14 together. So that is going to be the first thing we do. What is 7 plus 14?
21.
21, okay? Everything else just gets brought down. I still don't know my area. The half comes down, multiplied by 21, and multiplied by 10. Now all you're going to do is just plug it into your calculator. So go ahead and plug that in for me. As you're plugging it into your calculator, if it's easier for you just to put in 0.5 for half, that's fine, because that's what the decimal would be. What is my area, guys?
105 inches squared.
Thank you for telling me inches squared, because every time that you are trying to find the area, it should always be in inches squared. Any questions on how to do that? Okay, problem B is exactly the same. So I want you to go ahead and start off with your formula and do problem B on your own. All right, as I just walked around, I saw a lot of great answers. So we know area equals 1/2 times the base, the first base, plus the second base, times the height. what do I do first right here? Do your parentheses first. So I'm going to put it times 16 and times 6. When you do that, what do you get?
48 centimeters squared.
48 centimeters squared is correct. Raise your hand if you got that correct. All right, any questions if you did not? Okay, great job. We're going to do something just a little bit different. Now I'm going to be giving you the area, and you're going to have to find the unknown base or the unknown height. So we're still basically doing the same exact idea. We're just plugging in numbers differently and trying to solve for the variable. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with the formula. What's the formula for area of a trapezoid?
A equals 1/2 times B1 plus B2 equals, times it.
Times h, not equals h. So don't put an equals h at the end, okay? This equals the A, the area, all right? What can I plug in first? First of all, actually, let's go ahead and put our equal sign so you don't forget it, because this is where everyone was trying to multiply everything together instead of putting down what the A is. What's the area, guys?
66.
66 equals 1/2 times
8
plus
14
times.
H.
All right, what do I do first?
22
66.
over, a half times 22 times 6.
Okay, I can't do anything to the left of the equal sign. What can I do and what should I do first on that side?
1/2 times.
You have to do the parentheses work first. If you don't do the parentheses work first, it's not going to turn out. So what's 8 plus 14? 22. Now I'm going to bring everything else down. All right. Can I do any work to the left of the equal sign? No, so I'm just bringing that equal sign down, and I'm going to bring my 66 down. Do we know what half times 22 is? 11 h. Your goal is to get h by itself. What do I have to do?
Divided by 11 on both sides.
Okay, be fair to both sides. Divide by 11, and what do you get?
6 centimeters.
6 what?
Centimeters.
Not centimeters. Meters, okay? Should it be meters squared? When do I do my unit squared? Only when I'm finding the area. Any questions on this? Okay? Write this one down. Okay, we're trying to find one of the bases now. Okay, we know that one of the bases is 18. We've been given the area and the height. So let's go ahead and start with our formula. Sherelle, what's the formula?
A equals 1/2 times B1 plus B2 times
Okay, just remember B1 and B2, those are going to be your parallel lines. Okay, so let's start plugging things in. Ashley, what should I plug in for A?
2 and 2.5.
Good job. Now I'm going to bring down my 1/2. Addison, what do I write next?
B1 plus 18.
Good job. Mason,
Times h.
what's H?
Oh, times 13.
Okay, always check to see. Don't just say times H. You got to check to see if I know what H is. Okay, so bring down the equal sign first. Can I do any work to the left of the equal sign? No, so we know that's just going to drop down. I don't need to do anything else to that. All right, now, I'm supposed to do parentheses first. Can I do any work inside of those parentheses? No. So I'm actually going to leave that alone, and I'm going to do any work outside of the parentheses that I can. Is there any work I can do outside of the parentheses?
1/2 times 13.
I can take my 1/2 and multiply it times that number right there. What is 1/2 times 13.5?
6.75.
6.75. Then drop everything else down. Okay, so at this point, there's actually two things that I can do, all right? I could, well, we know that we're going to put our equal sign. We know that we can't do any work to the left of the equal sign, so that's just going to get bumped down. Now I got to decide over here. There's two options. I could do the distributive property. It's been a long time since we talked about that, but whatever's on the outside gets multiplied by both numbers on the inside. Or I could just get rid of that 675. How do I get rid of that 675?
Divided by itself.
I divide it by 675, okay? So if I divide this side by 6.75, Actually, I'm going to take this part away for right now. I got to divide the other side by 6.75. Okay, so this side, that will cancel out. Plug the other part into your calculator. When you divide those two numbers right there, what do you get? What is it? 30. And what's left on the right-hand side? Not just B1.
B1 plus 18.
B1 plus 18. So be careful. If you've got two things left over there, make sure you bring both those two things down, okay? How do I get B1 by itself?
Minus 18.
I heard divide by 18 and minus 18.
Minus 18.
You got to minus it because the opposite of plus 18 is minus 18. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Now these cancel out. What's my answer?
12 inches.
12 inches. Okay, now be careful. Please do not try to think that you have to get rid of the 1 there. That's base 1, okay? That's its name. Kind of like Sherelle Hinton is her name, okay? It's the same thing. So base 1 stays together, and the answer for base 1 is 12 inches. For your upcoming quiz on Monday and then your test on Wednesday, we're going to be reviewing all these different things that we've talked about. So we're going to do a review problem today. Find the area of the triangle. The main thing you just have to remember is what your formula is. I want you guys to try it on your own, and then we'll go over the answer here in just a minute. All right, as I walked around, I saw about half of you guys had the correct answer. Help me out. The reason why a lot of people didn't have it correct is they did not have the right formula. What's my formula?
A equals 1 half times B times H.
You have to remember the half times the base times the height. Okay, what's my base?
It's 6 inches.
And my height?
Times
5.
What's the answer?
51 inches squared.
15 inches squared. Okay, a few people forgot to square their units. Just remember, every time it asks you for area, know to double check that you've got to have your inches squared. Okay? Let's do one more example. This will be our last one for today. For this one, we're going to be finding two things, the perimeter and the area of a parallelogram. So you want to use two different formulas. If you don't remember what the formulas are, pull out your notes from the past couple days and see if you can figure it out. We're going to go ahead and start off with the perimeter. What is my formula for finding perimeter of parallelogram?
P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W.
Okay, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, what's my length?
9.
What's my width?
5.
Ashley, 2 times 9
18.
plus 2 times 5.
10.
What's the answer, Tati? Okay, good job. How many of you got the perimeter correct? Remember, the perimeter is just the outside, so you could have added up all of these. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 5 more, 23, plus 5 more, 28. Okay, so you could add up all the sides, or you could do our formula, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, what about the next one? We're still trying to find the area of the parallelogram. What's that formula? Okay. Base times height. All right, what's my base?
9.
What's my height?
4.5.
Why is the 5 not my height?
Because it's the side.
That's the width, but how do you figure out what the height is?
Because it's
It's
not
the
parallel.
perimeter, it's the outside of it.
It has to form a right angle with the base, okay? So that's how we can tell that 4.5 is that. And what's my area, guys?
40.5.
40.5 millimeters squared.
Millimeters squared is correct, okay? Great job on our review today. Let's go ahead and write down our homework for tonight. Yesterday we talked about 11.5 triangles. Today we're doing it over trapezoids. There's just 8 problems tonight, and that's your homework.